just two ordinary people that make music that we love.
Are you a clubaholic?
I am a clubaholic, absolutely. I still go out now if I'm not working. If there's something good on in Manchester at Sankey's or wherever, I'll be out for it. Hi, this is Paul from K-KLASS and you're watching Clubaholic.tv.
How you doing, Paul?
I'm very well, thank you. It's the end of a very long weekend, but I've had a great time. The club's been rocking, so you can't ask for more. Russ is down in Bristol doing a night called New City Sound down there. We kind of tossed a coin to see who'd go where tonight, and I've ended up here and I'm really glad I did.
How do you feel that your set's gone?
It was really good. I kept chopping and changing it, do you know what I mean, to keep people interested. I kind of realised people have been out all weekend.
Got a new release, Right and Exact. What's the response been like to that?
It's been really, really good. I mean, we've made really good progress in the Beatport chart. About a year ago, we consciously made an effort to stop making records for the radio and just start making tracks that we like and we'd like to play out again. We'd re-recorded the vocal for use in our live PA. The vocal fitted really well over an instrumental backing track that we'd written, so we combined the two, cut the vocals up a bit, and that was the end result.
I'm feeling right and exact.
How did you get into DJing?
And one night we stumbled across a night in London called The Trip at the Astoria, which was one of the original acid house nights. It was like the first time I'd ever seen people, you know, on pills and dancing and enjoying themselves and stuff like that. Like, wow, this is amazing, I've got to have some of this. And somebody said, oh, the same thing's happening in the Hacienda in Manchester. So the next week we went there and carried on going there every Wednesday and Friday for the next 3.5 years. In there we met Carl and Andy from Wrexham, who were already making dance music. We put our equipment that we had together with theirs. We made 4 tracks, took them into Eastern Bloc Records in Manchester. They really loved it and said, oh, we'll release it. I was like, well, we better think of a name for the band and the name for the tracks. We remixed it. That was our first release. That went to number 64 in the charts. Just, you know, it was only an instrumental EP. And then the next thing we made was Rhythm is a Mystery, which went to number 3 in the charts. Yeah, the production side is all history since then. So we started doing the warm-up for Cream. That progressed into doing main slots there and guest slots all around the country, and that was like in the sort of early 90s, and it progressed from there really.
Would you say you're digital rather than vinyl?
And we're definitely digital rather than vinyl these days. Probably, unfortunately. I've got a record collection that I've just had to move now. I've moved house. And I had to move in the region of 25,000 12-inch singles. And, you know, it's sad to think that half of it I'll never play again, but I'll never let go of it.
What would you say is the best or the weirdest party that you've ever played at?
Probably playing at Cream in Liverpool. We played the last ever set in the main room. The atmosphere and the vibe in that room that night was something special. You know, towards the end of the night, there's people actually crying in tears and things like that. So we thought it was the end of the club at the time. Once at a rooftop party on top of a skyscraper in Cape Town with Tabletop Mountain. It was like the setting as the sun went down behind us. And, you know, things like that are special moments, you know, that make it worth doing what you do, really.
What's your favourite tracks out at the moment?
And there's a producer from Shrewsbury near the Midlands called Sonny Wharton. There's a track that he's releasing on Nocturnal Groove called Showtime, which is really good and kind of typical of the thing that we're really into at the moment. Also people like David Penn, DJ Chuz, all the Spanish guys are making really, really cool music at the moment. And then also if you look at like British producers, people like Proc and Fitch, someone that we really look up to as well. People say that, oh, the music's not as good now as it used to be years ago, but that's just nonsense. There's so much good music out there. There's also a lot of rubbish music out there as well. It's all about filtering it out and finding the right tunes these days.
Can we expect to see K-KLASS in Ibiza this year?
We've got a series of parties lined up at La Plage with Stealth Records. We've just signed an exclusive deal with Stealth as well, which is Roger Sanchez's record label.
What can we expect from your trip to Ibiza and from K-KLASS?
Lots of rhythms, lots of beats and lots of good bass lines and good vibes. And lots of drinking probably as well.
What would you say are your top 3 desert island discs?
Atmosphere by Joy Division would be one of them. And Fingers Inc. Can You Feel It was probably the record that got me into house music in the first place. Probably Strings of Life by Rhythm is Rhythm again, which is another house track. Or maybe even Phase 2 Reaching, CC Rogers Someday. I could go on and on and on and on. And then there's probably tracks from recent years, things like Solo Music Fade, the original version of that came out on Wave, and that's an awesome piece of music that's right up there too. But every year there's new stuff that comes out that would qualify in my top 3. It changes every week really.
What's the first record that you've ever bought?
I could say something really cool like Kraftwerk Trans-Europe Express if I was going to lie, but I'll be honest with you. It was probably something by the Wombles or something like that, or Max Voice live in concert or something awful like that. It wasn't very cool. I think the first serious record I bought was an LP by Blondie called Parallel Lines. That was the first record I remember inspiring me.
What would you say has been the hardest part of your whole career?
Watching the scene waver, it'll go. I've seen it go through so many dips, falls and peaks over the 20 years. And sometimes, when people start trying to write the whole thing off or somebody says something else is the next big thing, that's quite depressing sometimes, but it always comes around again. I've seen it happen so many times now. I mean, even when the scene's not strong in the UK, it's strong, really strong worldwide now. You can play anywhere in the world now and people will feel the tracks that you're playing.
What elements of club culture would you like to see in everyday life?
I'd like to see people getting on with each other a bit more, to be honest with you. I mean, when I first started going out and going to clubs where they played house music and stuff like that, it was like the first or the second summer of love. And it really changed the way people went out and people's attitudes towards each other. You'd see people who were gay, straight, black, white, rich, poor. Everyone would, for the first time, would be dancing together in one club, interacting with each other and having a smile on the face. And a lot of that's been lost now. But a lot of that vibe would fit very, very well into society now and probably make the country a better place, to be honest with you.
What would be your top 3 tips for life?
You're here for a good time, not a long time. Get on with people and enjoy yourself.